Okay guys, well, contrary to what you guys saw from the great dropper gods, we are going to be building a pumpkin farm. And you might be wondering why we're building a pumpkin farm and not a villager trading post. And the answer is quite simple. You can have a villager trading post, but unless you have some resource to trade to the villagers, it's not really worth anything. So we're building a pumpkin farm, and this is on the new Snapshot. As you can tell, beautiful job. Mojang Studios, they changed the splash art when you load the game. But the numbers are being drawn on the screen above everything else, which is kind of annoying. It doesn't break anything, just very annoying, and it's going to be weird to play with. So let's talk a little bit about the design of this farm. So we're going to have two sides. We're going to have a stream of water going down the middle. Don't need to worry about that too much. With a pumpkin stem right here. And it's actually the first crop we planted in the world. That's very interesting. Anyway, we're going to have two observers on either side to detect... Oh, whoops, this messed up. My bad. We have one observer on the stem to detect when it grows. Now, once it places a pumpkin next to it and connects, that should also update the observer, so no problem there. But it's two pistons on either side, so that way, no matter which side the pumpkin stem grows, we still got something there. Now, that powers this block here, which is horizontal, well, instead diagonal to these pistons, which means they're bud powered, which means now we just need to update them. Whoops. Here we go. Okay, and I got 3 pumpkin seeds, but for you guys, you can see it here. And it fires. And this is going to be kind of the basic setup that we're going to be using. We're going to be doing a little bit more interesting things with this, so it's not just going to be this as far as a build, but we got to build this before we can get to the interesting stuff. So I'll see you guys in a minute once that's all done. Okay, so this is kind of the design I settled on for the farm. Definitely not winning any awards. It needs a little bit more detail, I think, with this dark oak here. We can add another like beam going across around on the top. I think that'll help break it up. We can add probably some fences going in between here, maybe some bushes. But nonetheless, I think this is where we want to leave it. It looks better than sugarcane farm. We're not winning any awards, but it's not an eyesore like the sugarcane farm, which we're just going to ignore for now. So this is just the general setup. Sorry, I hit the mic stand. And this redstone line, I can't see it from the bottom, so not really a big issue. I got some pumpkins starting to grow already. And I don't know why. I thought this would be an issue. But these two, I didn't think would be hydrated by that water source all the way down there. I guess maybe flowing water counts, and I didn't know that. Okay, well anyway, this concludes like the pumpkin part. This is a very easily stackable farm, which we'll probably do in the future, which will be, I'm going to make this look a little bit better also. And now this is getting into the fun part that I really wanted to spend time doing. We got to get these pumpkins over to the village, which is like way over there. So that's eventually where we're going to build the villager trading post, and it'll just be nice to have everything automatically there in one place. Don't really need to worry about it. And so there's a couple different ways you can do it. It's quite a way, so it's not loaded. Now you can use Nether Portals, which are the only way to load chunks as of, I believe, 1.14. But my Nether Portal system is a huge mess right now. Like, that portal goes to Nether Ceiling. There's a portal off over that way that goes to the actual base. And it's just Nether Portals everywhere. So we're not going to use Nether Portals. And so because there's these two random tick farms right beside each other, this would not be a bad spot to AFK. So what I've been thinking about doing is just setting up a minecart track. So that way, once this guy fills up his shulker boxes and minecart with all the pumpkins, then it just brings myself, AFK, in a minecart, and the pumpkins all the way over to the village, and then just bring them back once it's unloaded. Well, yeah, unloaded, and then we can produce more pumpkins here at the farm. And that's going to be the really fun part, and the part I'm going to have the most fun doing now that all the building's done. And I'm going to get started on that, and if anything needs any explanation, I'll probably stop and help explain things to you guys and just give you an idea of where my head's at with this. Okay, so now the farm is technically fully functional. We got our output chest, but I want to put hoppers down below. We're going to go underground a little bit, and we're going to set up a system to fill up shulker boxes that then go into a chest minecart. And then once we're out of shulker boxes to fill, then we'll send it off, and we'll send a signal to wherever we're going to AFK, probably somewhere in between these two, and we'll just go off to the village. We're probably going to need to mine a little bit of a tunnel for that, but that isn't too big of a deal. For now, I'm just going to keep on working with this and seeing what we can do. The redstone down here might get a little complicated. Okay, so let me describe a little bit of the madness that's going on here. So we have our input. This is where we get our pumpkins. I'm going to add another hopper down here once it's ready to go, so that way it starts filling up this shulker. Once the shulker is full, this comparator sends a full powered signal into this block here, which I broke a redstone dust from, which then goes this direction, and also powers this piston as to push off the shulker box. This is on a delay, and then that heads to the dropper to dispense the next shulker, and also heads down here to fulfill an AND condition. Now this AND condition, the other side of, is checking this dropper for when it's empty. And once this dropper is empty, and once this shulker gets pushed off, both these lines will be off. This torch will be powered, which then powers the power rail underneath the chest minecart, which is right beneath the item hopper where we're breaking the shulker into. And then this will just be the line that brings us all the way on over. Still need to figure out exactly how we're going to unload the minecart and how we're going to get it back here. That's a problem for a little bit here. Don't need to worry about it quite yet. But for now, that's just kind of where things are at. It's a pretty awesome setup, if I do say so myself. This pumpkin farm needs upgraded before we worry about the other way too much. Okay, so now I added an additional torch to the AND switch right here. And then this runs off to where our AFK minecart is going to be. So that way I can send a signal, and we can come right on down here and meet the cart and travel for probably 1,000 blocks, I want to say it is, together. And hopefully this, I don't think this will be too far ahead of us, especially as we're going to speed up a little bit more than the other one will. I should probably make these double powered or whatever, just so that way we can catch up to the minecart. We don't super need to worry about unloading that one, simply because momentum will be kept as long as it's ahead of us. So honestly, we should be working on speeding this one up as opposed to our own. I apologize if you can hear my computer screaming for a little bit, but I noticed this thing just filled up with a couple pumpkins, and never realized we weren't actually locking in this item hopper. So what I did is, coming from this line again, which is after the comparator, checking how much is in the shulker box, I just ran yet another line heading down here, then inverting it and then pointing it into the block next to the hopper. I don't think powering this block does anything because it's just hiding in there. There's nothing that runs by it or whatever, so I think we're pretty much good there. But it was just kind of funny. Came back here, I was wondering how it was doing, and then just seeing the 12 pumpkins in here. It's pretty darn slow at this point. Definitely needs a little bit of an upgrade. And I ran out of gold for the minecart tracks. It goes most of the way, but not quite all the way. So we're gonna need to get more gold to get that done. But, ooh, I know there's a good way to fix this, actually. What the heck? He's floating, isn't he? Yeah, this bastion's a little bit bigger than mine. I'm just gonna grab this and be on my way. Don't mind me. I'm stealing all your guys' gold. Don't mind me. Alright, so to say the least, this thing has some problems. First of all, it's kind of slow. And it's more fun to have manual farms anyway, because then you get to actually use them. I bet this thing's gotten like a stack and a half over like 2 hours of AFK or something stupid. Like, let's go check the sugarcane farm. Because I've AFK'd, like, in between these two, I've been building those rails. And like, sugarcane farm, yeah, it's gotten a lot further than the pumpkin farm, and this thing's still pretty darn slow. And so, yeah, we have a couple different options. We can either upgrade this thing, probably to the point that you're talking about a stack of items per minute, which then you're dealing with stuff faster than hoppers, and you're building a pretty darn large farm. But that's kind of the race that we need in order to do that shulker loading system we got with the minecart. And I did manage to get the rail finished. It took a lot of gold. I raided a piglin base, just stole their gold, and they didn't really care. It was kind of funny. But it's like that's all working, and I just had like a simple unloader at the other end, not one that does shulkers. And this whole thing's a mess still. I increased the duration here, but then this piston increases even further. It launches the shulker box on the other side of this dispenser. But the reason why this needs to be increased is so that way this delays longer. So that way it unlocks the hopper, so that way the shulker's actually able to go into it. And it's just a mess. Just a mess. And so I think next time we're actually going to make a manual pumpkin farm and probably put it over by the villager trading post. But I bet someday we'll come back to this. We'll definitely fix it up. For now, it's been about a week or so since I've uploaded a video. Really need to get something out. And so I guess we got this giant, weird pumpkin cuboid rectangular prism thing that we built. I mean, it's not bad to have. I mean, it's so good to have around, but just not the fastest thing, not the most efficient. Needs to be upgraded quite a bit. Anyway, guys, take care. Have an awesome day. Hopefully I'll see you around for the next episode, where we're going to be working on building an actual manual pumpkin farm. Something a lot better than this weird thing that I've put way too much time into. Nonetheless, make sure to take care. Have an awesome day. And yeah, bye-bye.